listening to Double Tap, your daily accessible technology show. Now, here's your hosts, Stephen Scott and Shaun Preece.
Oh, hello, Shaun Preece. It is Friday. It is Double Tap. You know what? It's a perfect combination, quite frankly.
It is. The weekend is here and we're here. Hello, Stephen. How are you?
Exactly. We're here every single day at a new time on AMI Audio, if you're listening to us. Yes. Brand new time. Well, we're still on at midday, noon Eastern, of course, which is when we show up on AMI Audio, but our repeats have changed. So, yes, you can now find us. Basically, it's dead easy to remember. This is how it was put to me by Mr. F. 12 and 6, all the way around the clock. So, noon, 6 p.m., midnight, 6 a.m. That is when you can listen to our episode of Double Tap through the day and through the night as well. So, yes, new time on AMI Audio, making way for some cool new shows. Kelly and Company is back here on AMI Audio, which is fantastic. Nice to have you back, guys. And AMI Today following us on AMI Audio just after this show, if you're listening at noon Eastern. So there you go.
No, I'm confused again now. Now you've lost me.
There's no point. There's no point telling you anything because you just forget. You don't even read your emails. I put you in charge of WhatsApp. Are you even reading these WhatsApps? What's going on?
I'm doing them. I've replied to hello WhatsAppers. Yes, keep them coming. I am. It's 1-613-481-0144.
Well done.
Yeah, send us a WhatsApp. Very good. I just remember we're on at lunch and then at dinner.
Yeah, exactly. That's right. And then again at midnight when you can't sleep, and 6 a.m. when you can't sleep. Perfect.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Absolutely perfect.
Thank you.
And on podcast and YouTube and tooth fillings and basically anywhere you can find audio and video now.
Yeah.
Hello, Mom. Okay, so look, I want to kick things off with big breaking news.
Breaking news.
Massive.
This is big stuff. It actually is big stuff. I'm not just making this up. Popular app Seeing AI. Now, look, we've talked about Seeing AI a lot on the show. It is a very popular app in the blind community, of course, because it has tons and tons of features. And it's funny, you know, every time I use Seeing AI, short text is my favorite. You know,
absolutely.
Someone was saying the other day, you know, when they put their shopping away, they get the groceries in, delivered, putting the stuff away in the cupboards, just having Seeing AI available to just quickly scan an item to know exactly what it is. You're not looking for a barcode. You know, you don't have to deal with all that nonsense. You can just point it and it just reads the text immediately. It is so cool. But it's had so many updates over the years. Indoor navigation is now a thing with Seeing AI. And, you know, it's growing and growing and growing. But here's the thing. It recently came to Android, of course, which was brilliant. Android users got some love from Seeing AI, which was great. But there's even more features coming to both iOS and Android. So no disparity here. And this is a big one. Seeing AI can now describe videos.
Oh, yes.
This is cool.
I know what everyone's saying right now. Pickybot.
Yeah, that's done. But yeah.
Oh, wow.
Well, no, it's not. No, of course it's not, right? It's look, Seeing AI has implemented this feature, which is very similar to what Pickybot have done. There will be differences, I'm sure. But ultimately, what Seeing AI has done here is build in the capability for you to open up an MP4 file from your phone and get that recognized like you would with a photograph with Seeing AI. Now, I've got some demos coming up because I've been playing with this. I was up early this morning, so I've been playing with this. But before we get to that, I want to hear from Saqib Shaikh. Saqib Shaikh, of course, is the man who developed and founded Seeing AI at Microsoft. And he's a great guy. He actually reached out to me last night and he said, hey, have you seen the news? And immediately I'm like, yes, I have, because I've been seeing so many people on social media talking about this already. He also said he was a big fan of the show, which was really nice for him to say. But thank you to you, Saqib, for all the work you've done. I want to play a little clip from an interview we did last year, I think it was, with Saqib. We did an interview with him. We spoke to him talking about essentially where Seeing AI came from. This is a little bit of the history of the app.
Hi, I'm Saqib Shaikh, here from Microsoft, sitting in Redmond, Washington. And I lead the Seeing AI team, which is looking at ways that we bring emerging technologies like artificial intelligence to empower the blind and low vision community. Right from the beginning, it started off as a personal side project where I studied artificial intelligence many a year ago, and we had this hackathon at Microsoft. This was a 1 week event where the CEO Satya said, anyone can follow your passion, do what you want for a week. And that was an incredible moment. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to waste this. And I thought, okay, I'm going to bring my personal passion for accessibility and artificial intelligence together. And that was the very first sort of thing that became Seeing AI. And from there, of course, eventually we launched and started getting all the feedback from users. And from there, it sort of became this ongoing conversation. We kept talking with the community, seeing what the challenges were that people want addressing, talking to scientists and researchers and saying, okay, what is the latest and greatest that could be leveraged to create these new experiences? And that's sort of been the journey that we've been on for a number of years now. I think there were a bunch of apps that did one thing, and maybe in each case, I was like, oh, I wish it did this differently. And then there were other things where there was no app that did that thing. So in the very beginning, it was, okay, can we read and recognize different objects and so forth? And what was great is that when I started it, it was just, myself tinkering. But then quickly word got around Microsoft, and there's so many scientists and engineers who sort of joined the mission, I'd say. And back then, I had never seen computers generate descriptions of images. It just wasn't a thing. And then we found a researcher working on that problem. I was like, oh my goodness, I didn't know this was possible. So this is in 2015-ish. And eventually that became a thing. And, now that technology is everywhere. So that's sort of been this journey where it's not been one or two or three people, but it's always been a mission from across the company, bringing loads of people together with all their expertise to make this happen. Right now, this moment in time is just incredible. Every day I am amazed by what this new generation, which the geeky techie word is generative AI, and what that is capable of. And I'm like, wow, I didn't know we could do this or this. And so me and my team were in this moment of figuring out what are the cool new things that are going to be made possible. And I think over the next year, we're really going to see some exciting advancements. And of course, things don't stay still. So it's that sort of magic formula again of we're going to work with the community with all this incredible new AI, but then also those really seamless natural experiences that make this just something you can slot into your daily life. So I'm so excited more than ever before.
Yeah, and so are we. Saqib Shaikh there talking to us last year from Microsoft. And, I've got to say, if you ever wanted a reason to employ a blind person or a disabled person in your organization, there it is. I mean, I'm one for saying one person can't change the world. There are exceptions to that rule sometimes. One person there who comes up with an idea, and suddenly, of course, a huge corporation like Microsoft he works for gets behind the idea, and boom, we're off. And look what has been created. Seeing AI is a brilliant app.
It is, yeah, which is why there was so much demand for it to come over to Android.
Yeah.
Because everyone recognized how useful it is. It's the Swiss Army knife of accessibility tools, right? It's that app that has so many different features and functions in it. It's just, yeah, it's something I use virtually every day. And you can't say that for a lot of apps.
No, absolutely not. But yes, this new feature has arrived. So you can now share an MP4 file, a video file, with Seeing AI. And you can also find it in the app as well. So when you go into Seeing AI now, you can navigate to the Browse Files option, and then you can look through your photo library and instantly get a photo or now a video recognized. So I made a demo of this because
you are a hero.
I had to try this out, and I
Yes.
thought I'd share the results with you. So this is a video. And there were a lot of demo videos flying around. Saqib actually posted a couple. But I wanted a video that I knew the content of, so I could, in my head, envisage what was going on.
Yes.
To see if it actually did describe properly. So this video is of our little dog Oni at his doggy daycare, just wandering around and just having some fun, being filmed by doggy daycare, Linda. So here is the video and the description created by Seeing AI.
Play button.
A
Pause.
small black and white dog is walking on the paved area towards a toy on the ground. The dog stops and looks at the toy on the ground.
Who's coming?
The dog begins to walk away from the toy, moving towards the left side of the frame.
Come to get Sweetie.
The dog continues walking along a brick wall. The dog walks closer to the brick wall, moving steadily. The dog approaches a yellow bucket placed near a door.
Never drink.
The dog sniffs around the yellow bucket.
It's a big enough bucket to get a drink
The dog continues to sniff the yellow bucket, appearing curious.
out of. Hi, Tika.
The dog looks up from the bucket, standing still.
You're so noisy.
The dog turns away from the bucket and starts walking again.
Getting a drink, Oni? You getting a wee drink?
The dog walks along the paved area, moving away from the camera. The dog pauses and looks around, standing near a red tunnel toy.
I think he looks beautiful.
The dog stands still, looking in the direction of the red tunnel toy.
I think you look beautiful.
The dog continues to stand and observe its surroundings.
You going to look to the camera for your mummy?
The dog remains in place, still looking around. The dog starts walking again, moving towards a grassy area.
No, he says I'm not.
The dog walks further away, heading towards a fenced area.
Oh, a wee itch.
The dog approaches a group of other dogs sitting near a fence. The dog joins the group of dogs near the fence.
And there's the two mad polies up there.
The dog stands with the other dogs, looking around the area.
Alright, you coming for a wee sleep then?
A group of dogs is seen near a fence, with one dog standing on the paved area.
Where's
A close-up of a brown dog with a pink collar, surrounded by several dog toys on the ground.
Coco go? Coco, you... There's Theodore.
A yellow Labrador stands on the paved area, looking towards the camera with a yellow ball nearby.
Oh,
Coco, you coming for a wee sleep?
The yellow Labrador continues to stand, wagging its tail slightly, with toys scattered around.
Do you want to come with me for a sleep? I'm going to have my lunch.
The Labrador begins to walk towards the camera, maintaining eye contact.
I'm going to have my lunch.
The Labrador approaches closer, still looking at the camera, with its tail wagging.
Say bye. See you when I get home, Mommy.
I mean, how good is that?
okay. So explain what's happening there, because you could hear, obviously, you could hear the video there with the lovely Linda talking. So the video's playing underneath the audio description, or what's happening?
So what's happening is, and I've seen this before with this kind of description, what's happening is it is pausing the video, and then the voiceover is coming in and reading the description, and then the video is carrying on. So it's not live alongside the video. It's pausing the video to give you some description and then carry on, which is actually pretty good. Obviously, it does take longer to watch a video that way, but
Yes.
you're getting the information without missing anything. And, you know, what was kind of cool there was, you know, and that was not set up at all. I mean, you know, that was just a video that actually sent to me a couple of weeks back. And, you know, the fact that you could pick up from that. Well, you tell me. I mean, did you understand the what was happening, what was going on? Did that make sense?
Yes. Yeah, no, of course, it made total sense. I mean, I've never seen that video, and I can't see that video. But I mean,
Exactly.
yeah, of course, you're able to follow it. And actually, it was good in the fact that it didn't embellish it to the level of it's a serene scene. You know, what I
Yes.
have noticed with a lot of these AI descriptions is that you can sort of, I don't know, it's almost over-egging the pudding, if that's a global saying. It's giving too
Sure it's
much.
not.
It's yeah, I'm sure it's not. But it just almost makes it too flowery. You know, sometimes you just want a description of what's going on, and that gave exactly that. I thought it was really good.
Do you want one more? I did two.
Yes, I want more.
So this one, and this might actually answer a question about that, because like you say, a lot of the flowery language that can go along with this can be a bit distracting and it becomes very verbose. This video is actually a video of my wife and I. You don't see much of us at all in it at all, but This is the scene standing at a beautiful glacier, and we're standing on a glass walkway over, essentially, if the glass was to give way, we'd fall to our deaths. But it didn't, so everyone was fine. This
Spoiler.
Spoiler. That would be an interesting video to describe. But this is in Jasper in Canada. So this was my wife and I just on a walk around this glass walkway. See what you think about this.
Play button.
A group of people are standing on the glass walkway with a stunning view of snow-capped mountains in the background. Several people are walking and observing the scenery from the glass walkway, surrounded by mountains. A close-up view of the glass walkway, showing the structure and the ground below.
Now you're enjoying it? Yeah.
People continue to walk on the glass walkway, enjoying the view of the mountains.
You guys want a picture together, or?
A person in a red jacket is holding onto the railing of the glass walkway, with others walking ahead.
We got one.
Okay, so
Yeah, thank you.
A panoramic view of the mountainous landscape, with trees and a deep valley visible. The camera captures a wide view of the snow-covered mountains and the forested valley below. A scenic view of the expansive mountain range and the deep valley, with clear blue skies above.
So, I mean, there you go. There's an example where you've got a lot of scenery that you might want to know about. Again, I felt the verbosity was just right.
No, I totally agree. A level of description which was just right, I thought. And it's difficult to get that right. But yeah, it seemed perfectly appropriate for the video. That was really cool. And the fact that it said glass walkway, I mean, how does it know?
So that's why I wanted to test it, because that particular video, I thought, okay, is it going to know what this is?
Yeah.
You're always testing, aren't you? You're always like, will it know this? Will it know that? And then it does, and you go, oh,
catch
wow.
it out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, it didn't just say, on a bridge or anything. It actually said a glass walkway. I thought that was excellent.
Yeah, just incredible. I'm so impressed by this. So make sure you update the app. You'll have to go into the App Store and update the app, because I had to do that this morning. It didn't automatically show up. I still don't understand what that was. It's all set to automatically update, but doesn't often
sometimes
happen.
it takes a couple of days maybe. But,
So check that out. But there are a couple other things as well. I mean, that's a huge one. But it can also not. I've had some issues with PDF documents recently. I got one sent to me, which I was trying to use to find the tracking number on, and I could not access this PDF at all. Well, now you can recognize PDFs in Seeing AI. Perfect timing. So you can go in, you can upload, again, just through the share sheet. You can get to your PDF document, share directly to Seeing AI, and it will turn it into text, which of course you can then manipulate, copy, do whatever you want with. And yes, I did find my tracking number in the end, so I was very pleased with that. What a fantastic thing. So this is all available on iOS and Android. Important to say that all these features are across the board. There's another feature, I don't know how new this is, you tell me, but after tapping more info to get a rich description of an image, you can now ask questions on the same screen.
Oh, was that different before? I must admit, that's using the AI image description I haven't used much at all on Seeing AI.
Is that because you're using Be My AI?
I'm just using Be My AI all the time. It's my go-to,
But that's pretty cool if you've got now the ability to ask questions. I don't think that was an option before. Clearly not, because it's saying it's a new feature here.
Yeah.
On the product channel, both barcodes and enhanced QR codes can now be recognized at the same time. So you used to have to choose which one you wanted to look for. Now you can just go straight in and it will figure it out. But yes, plus various bug fixes, which is always good to hear about. I like fixes of bugs. But yes, what a fantastic app. I'm really, really impressed by this. It's so clever what's been going on here with Seeing AI. Just brilliant. Love it.
You know what the problem is, though, don't you? Now we've got this, I'm just thinking, right, I want this on real-time video now.
I know.
We always want more. But no, I mean, you've got to say it. Absolutely fantastic work. And again, I will mention PickyBot, because that's been around for a while now. It got there first, and it still does a great job.
Exactly,
and it gives you various options as well as to what AI engine or service you want to use to describe your video. So, like other things, it's just another option we've got. But great work.
Yeah, I mean, I must admit, there are a lot of videos now I'm going to be uploading to that, Because, especially from the holiday. That was one in particular from the holiday.
Yeah,
and I was thinking,
exactly.
goodness, there's a lot more now I'm going to be able to pick out from this, these videos that I've got. I mean, I'll be able to enjoy them even more. I mean, what I did when I was recording them, let's be honest, I recorded all those videos on the Meta frames, and I did it for the spatial audio recording because that's just joyous. I can sit there with my glasses on.
Sounds amazing.
Listen to these videos back, and it's as if I'm back there in the moment, which is just incredible. But now I can add this functionality as well. And what's cool is, it's cool in the sense that you can do it separately. I'd love to be able to download the video with the description. That doesn't seem to be available yet. You watch the video, it's there, and then it goes away. So I don't think you can keep the video.
Oh, yeah.
To my knowledge, anyway. I don't think that's the case yet.
I want to see this on YouTube.
Well, that's the thing. It's going to make the potential for audio describing content. I mean, ideally, it's a choice.
Yes.
I'm always a little bit wary of letting sighted people loose with this stuff, because you know what it's like. Suddenly it gets, look what happened to alt text. Everyone started putting things in the alt text that weren't really relevant to alt text, and it caused all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
So this is why I'm kind of for the AI doing the job that we control it. So essentially, if we want the description, then we can go get it. We can add it ourselves.
Just like with image description in
exactly.
iOS, where you can turn it on or off. Yeah, no, very exciting. I've got some, again, using the Meta glasses, recordings from the Alice Cooper concert. And
yes,
I would love to have them described because, apparently the stage show was great.
Oh, you can do that now.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to try that straight away afterwards. Fantastic.
Okay, I also want to mention this. Now, we've got an email in. This is all very cloak and dagger. I don't know what's going on here. Very clandestine. We've got an email saying, now, don't mention our names, but here's a little gift for Stephen and Shaun and the Double Tap audience. This was a little gift sent in an email, wrapped in a bow, just for us. And I have to play this in, but I have not to read the email associated.
Okay.
Laura has been notified to ignore the email. But we can play the audio attached, so here it is.
Scared.
We double tap on it, but you knew it. We the best around, you see we prove it. Got Steven and Shaun, they hold the fort down. But it ain't complete without no voice now.
I'm grooving.
Every day is a special day. When Laura can come through in a special way. Pick up the inbox, why not send it right away? If you haven't before, then why not try today? We've got your
Oh, I see what they've done here.
We've got your what you've got. Why not just send your email? Send your email. Send your email. Why not just send your email? Send your email.
Wow. I don't quite know I don't know what quite to say to that.
I do. We got a new email jingle.
That is the new email. That's very. Oh, there's the doorbell. There's a doorbell. Oh, fantastic.
That was amazing.
Oh, a round of applause for that one. Come on.
Absolutely fantastic. And we had a little bit of sample of the email jingle in there as well, I noticed. That was
very clever, wasn't it?
Very good. I'm more intrigued by the secrecy behind it.
So am I. I don't know what's going on there. But I feel I want to shout the names of these people involved in this, but I'm not allowed to.
Stop it. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That honestly is brilliant. I'm going to use that every day. I'm going to sit and listen to that. I feel like, I don't know, I feel we should be wearing bathrobes while we're playing that.
Okay, is that cool? Is that how you get your funk on? Is it okay?
Yeah, okay. So sort of 80s music video vibes going on there. I love that. That's absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much. You guys are just incredible.
I know.
Okay, so I also want to mention just briefly, because we're going to be talking to Aira in just a minute. We actually spoke to Jenine Stanley earlier in the week. We're going to play in that interview. You'll hear from Jenine. She's going to be talking about some cool new updates to Aira. In particular, if you're in England and you travel by train, there's a big announcement coming up. And, of course, more news on the Meta Ray-Ban relationship, shall we call it?
Oh.
So anyway, we did talk to Jenine. We'll get that interview on in just a minute. But total aside, I want to mention, don't do this very often, but, you know, a podcast recommendation for you. I started listening to a podcast. I think I'm getting into true crime, Shaun. I think I'm getting into that world.
Oh, stop it.
This was an interesting one. So it's a new one called Kill List. And I've got to say, I'm kind of hooked. So a friend of mine had actually posted about it on X, and she said, I've just found this new podcast and I'm binging through it. And it's like 6 or 7
what
episodes.
A surprise. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And I put the first one on last night, and I thought, you know, that's a really interesting podcast. The whole story is of this dark web story of literally a kill list, people who are on this kill list, and the stories of the individuals involved. It is an incredible story. And it was someone who was a journalist who'd started planning a different podcast entirely, and then stumbled upon this story, and this became his life's work for the last year. So, definitely worth listening into.
Recommendation there. Yeah, I've heard about this podcast on mainstream news as well, so it's definitely making an impact. You know what? I may even try it.
How dare you?
It's not too grisly, is it? I don't like
Well,
them.
no. Well, I mean, you know, it's talking about murder. I mean, what do you expect? I mean, they're not exactly going to say, oh, well, they had a cup of tea, and, you know, it's not a Richard Osman book, you know? It's
Okay, all right, sorry. Defensive. All right. The Kill List.
It's you know, I have to say, podcasts are becoming so impressive. You know, the amount of production that's going in. Like, is it 20,000 Hertz? That was another one, which is incredible.
Yes.
Incredible
amazing.
podcast for audio. Yeah. It's just so good. Of course, many other great podcasts available here at AMI, including Double Tap and all the rest.
We're here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, shall we move on and speak to our good friend Jenine Stanley? That's coming up next. But first, how you can get involved with Double Tap.
Get in touch with Double Tap. Email feedback at doubletaponair.com. Leave us a voicemail at 1-877-803-4567. And now you can send an audio or video message to us on WhatsApp. That number is 1-613-481-0144.
Now, it's good to catch up with some old friends here at Double Tap, and I don't know if I should say old friends when I mentioned Jenine Stanley, but hey, I just did. Jenine Stanley's back with us. Hello.
Long-time friend. How about that?
I like that. I prefer that. Long-time friend. There we are. Lovely to have you back. Now, you're wearing your Aira fedora today, but I think I might tease that Aira fedora off you later because yes, I'm going to sweet talk you, Aira. Sweet talk you, Aira. Sweet talk you, Jenine.
Alrighty.
Wow.
And we didn't know it was going to be that kind of show, did we?
Well, I want to ask you about Glide because you had hands on with it. But look, we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's stick to Aira. Some big news. Tell us what's going on.
So for everybody out there in the UK, and I know you've got a lot of listeners in the UK, GTR, which is Govia Thames Railway, all of their stations are now Aira access locations. So all of them, I believe that's Northern, Southern, and the Thames Metro, I believe that's the name of it. All of those stations are now Aira access locations. So get out there, use them, let us know how things are going with your use of that particular system. And once you get one system, it's just a matter of time before everybody else comes on board. So, and train puns, sorry. But that is the exciting new partner. And I know some of you have already been using that. So awesome. And we are happy to be working with GTR. And we did a little pilot project, of course, in London that I think we talked about a couple months ago, and that has borne fruit. And now we are all over.
Can I just ask, because, you know, when people hear you're an Aira access partner, in this case, this train network, what does that actually mean for customers of Aira?
Excellent question. For customers, it means that Aira service, while you are in that location or while you're using that service, is free to you because GTR, in this case, is paying for your use of Aira while you are at the station and to navigate the station, etc. And so that's basically what being an access partner means. It means paying for your access while you are there. And what you will notice as a customer of Aira, you'll notice that something pops up and lets you know that you are in an Aira access location and use of Aira is free there. And you would be surprised how many access locations we actually have. They're not all physical locations. Some of them are offers for online things like museums. We have a ton of museums now that are, and that is a precise scientific measurement too, a ton of museums that are now Aira access locations. And that includes their online offerings. So you have some minutes to burn. You're at the end of the month and you're thinking, or the end of your period of time for your Aira subscription, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I've got like 20 minutes here that I have not used and I'm bored out of my mind. Let's go look at a museum. And absolutely, you can do that.
Oh, that would bore me out of my mind.
Oh, you might be surprised, Stephen.
Yes,
you might
open
be
up
surprised.
a bit, Stephen. Will you? Oh, he's so uncultured. I can only apologise.
You can expand your mind. It's wonderful.
No, I don't want to expand my mind. I always remember a great Jerry Seinfeld line, which was, "It always fascinates me what excites other people," and that's how I tend to think.
I think you were going to say Jerry Springer there. I think that shows us your culture.
Shows me a lot.
I was going to say, don't do a Fischler and pretend you don't read or anything like that. Come on.
I don't read. Are you kidding? Slow TV.
Stop it. Can I just ask, Jenine, you mentioned there using Aira free of charge on those locations. Now, are we talking just in the stations there? I say just like it's a huge limitation. Obviously, it's good news. But could you use this like during a train journey between those stations as well?
Unfortunately, no. It is just relegated to the station. And the way we do that, we put a geofence around the station, obviously electronically, but we put the geofence around the station so that to navigate through the station, you can use Aira. Unfortunately, while the train is parked at the station, you can use it, but unfortunately, not while you're on the train to do things like, find the restroom, which is probably the biggest thing we all want to do on the train.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, things like that. They're not covered yet, but certainly if that's something that's important to you and that you want covered in such an offer, let us know. We can communicate that to GTR and other transit properties because some of our public transit here in the U.S., your time on the bus is covered, but not all of them. So it really depends on what we work out with the access partner.
You know what, Jenine, I love to ask questions that you have not prepared the answer for. So
goody.
I'm looking forward to asking you this one. What about Canada? Because we have lots of listeners, of course, in Canada.
Yes.
It's our spiritual home here at Double Tap. How is Canada covered by rail, by coach, by those kind of methods?
We have been working with some advocates in Canada, and Leo Bissonnette, I'm going to call you out. Leo has been a terrific, he's been a terrific supporter of Aira, and we have been working on some railways in Canada to get them covered. We're still working on it. We don't have any new access partners right now in Canada, but we've also increased our sales team quite a bit. So look to the future, and always on the home screen, there is a button that says Browse Access Offers. And I would check in there, periodically just to see what's new. We're also working on a way to identify when you come into the app, if we have some new access partners that may be interesting to you or that may relate to your area, something that can give you a notification about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of the challenges, isn't it? Trying to get these companies on board. Which is always the challenge for you guys. I'm guessing. We say, oh well, there's maybe not any at the moment, but that's because there needs to be maybe a little bit of a campaign locally. I can imagine Leo being one person who's pushing that quite a lot, and quite right too. It's got to happen. Look, let's talk about Meta, because you guys have been all over the news, and certainly all over my Facebook feed and. All the various groups I'm attached to, people talking about Meta and Aira. It seems like a really good partnership potential. And let's be clear on this, a good partnership potential. At the moment, the way that you can access an Aira call is through WhatsApp on the Meta Ray-Ban glasses. Have I got that right?
Yes. Yes, that is correct. And what we do basically is you start with an Aira call, and there's a new button, actually. I can talk about this. There's a new button in your Aira app, and it says customize your call. And this is kind of cool because the first thing on that list is Meta, and you can double tap on that, check that box. But then below that, there's something navigation. We also have right now Microsoft Quick Assist, but that list is going to change. So there are going to be different things that you can choose, like you can choose Meta and navigation, or you can choose navigation and Quick Assist. I don't know why you do that, but you could do that. So you can do multiples, but basically this is going to let the visual interpreter know, hey, this person has the Meta glasses. Let's get ready for that. And the process of switching over then, when you make that call, the visual interpreter sends you a link that automatically opens WhatsApp. And all you have to do is in the lower right corner, just tap on join and then tap the button on the right edge. I never know what to call those, stem, arm, whatever they are, of your glasses. That
legs,
arms, legs, parts, I don't know. That action button, just double tap it, and voila, you will hear the visual interpreter and you're in. And it takes, once you've done it a couple times, it takes surprisingly little time to get connected.
So how far along are we with this way of using the Meta glasses? Is this still in beta, or are you happy with the way it's working now? You still working on it?
We are still working. It is now in a public beta. You might remember, Shaun, that we had people signing up to be in our private beta.
Yes.
And now we've gone public, so anybody with the Meta Ray-Ban smart glasses can automatically put this procedure into practice with the Aira app. All of our visual interpreters are provisioned with ways to connect to WhatsApp, so they're all ready to go. There are no more time restrictions. Somebody was mentioning that on social media recently. So no more time restrictions. You can call anytime you want, which is a big help to you folks in the UK, because you were pretty restricted, unfortunately, until we got everybody set up. It's a pretty smooth process. We would love it to be easier. For example, hey, Meta, call Aira.
Yeah.
That would be great. That's not possible yet. So, we're hoping that people will continue to advocate, and we're going to hang on a bit and see what we can do, contacting Meta also, and see if we can get that kind of functionality. But for right now, so many people are using it with WhatsApp. There are a couple limitations, though. And
so hang on. I have to ask this question, because I know people will wonder, why is that the case? Why is it that Be My Eyes has the integration and you guys don't?
Connections. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I will hand it to Mike Buckley. He is amazing. He had the connections at Meta, having worked there. And that's how business works. That's how it works. It's not about, how much you press the company. That helps, certainly, or can help. But it's about who you know. And Mike was lucky enough, I think, to know the right people and to get in, and that's great. We're hoping, in fact, that people will use Be My Eyes for the very small things that they need assistance with, because it's free. Why not? Use it if you're comfortable. But for the big things, for navigation, for things that require security, honestly, you might not want to use the Meta glasses if you're doing something that requires security, because remember, when you are using those glasses, whether you're using them with the Aira or just by themselves, you're under Meta's terms of service and privacy policies, not Aira's. So something important to keep in mind.
You mentioned there as well about the process of making the call happen on the Meta glasses. You mentioned navigation and quick assist. Can you give me any more detail on that? What's navigation?
Sure. Absolutely. So navigation, we have put into place some procedures for our visual interpreters. And one of the things that we discovered, actually, after doing a deep dive this spring into navigation and what works and what doesn't work, we found that our new interpreters coming in are really overwhelmed. And navigation, the first time you navigate somebody through something, it's pretty scary, you know. And so we want to decrease the cognitive load on the interpreters coming in. So when they first hit the dashboard after training, they're not going to be doing navigation calls for a couple weeks. They're going to be able to hand you over, yay, call transfer finally. They're going to be able to hand you over to a certified navigation visual interpreter. So these are our longtime interpreters who have taken the classes, who have taken the follow-up classes, who are now certified in navigating you around. And then as they get more comfortable on Dash, pardon me, the new people will then come in and get their certification, and they'll be able to assist you. And I've already had a couple calls, and you may have one too, where if you want to navigate something, the interpreter may say, I'm not certified yet, let me get you over to someone who is. And that usually takes maybe, 10 seconds, if that.
Wow. So what's classed as navigation? Let's say I'm walking down the street. Hey, can you let me know is there any cars parked on the sidewalk or bins?
Yep.
Is that still classed as navigation rather than trying?
Yep, absolutely. So anytime you are moving about in a space and you want information about things you're moving around in, let's say you go to a new person's house, a new friend's house, or you go to a hotel for a conference, or, many of these things. And if you're not sure, believe me, the visual interpreter will be able to say, look, I'm not certified in this. Let me get you to somebody who is, and, we will get your task accomplished.
Sorry, I'm intrigued by this one. This is really cool.
Yeah, me too.
So what freaks the new agent? What scares them about the navigation particularly?
It's a big responsibility, Shaun. Imagine, you're looking through somebody's camera, and as you are getting on Dash, I don't know if you've ever worked in a call center, but those first couple days in a call center when you're trying to remember everything from training and the phone calls are coming at you like an avalanche, that's sort of what it's like. And we try to prepare visual interpreters for all of this, because you can pick up a call and be navigating through New York City, and then you can be helping somebody with their remote control. And then the next call, you can be doing some really intense navigation through an airport with somebody who's in a hurry like me and bowls down children in the security line and all those fun things, and just being able to keep up with that, it's a skill. Visual interpreting is very intense.
I think most people might have thought, I certainly thought navigation meant GPS navigation, which kind of got me excited. I thought, have you managed to figure out a way of getting GPS navigation through Meta?
We are working on that. And that is one of the limitations of the Meta glasses, is that when we're using WhatsApp, we don't have the ability to see your GPS position. And that's something that we're working on. I know people have said, well, live location, things like that for WhatsApp, that doesn't quite work the way that we're doing it, but we are working on a solution for that. So keep your Aira app updated. Jenine points her finger at the sky. Keep your Aira app updated.
Yeah,
because these
you had the
things
same
sneak
issue.
in.
You had the same issue with Envision as well.
Yep.
So this is a third-party issue. Clearly, essentially the location is not being able to be shared back by that. And I'm guessing when you transfer that call, the call is then handled by WhatsApp. So the agent is essentially outside of their own system at that point. It's coming through WhatsApp, and that's what causes it.
Absolutely. And what actually happens is your Aira app goes into privacy mode, because especially on the iPhone, now on Android phones, on some Android phones, I'm not going to say all of them because I don't know that for certain, some Android phones, you can get GPS location because the camera can be used in more than one place.
Right, that's it. Everybody buy Android.
Android's
that's
great.
It. You're going to Android. That's it. See? And the Android
iPhone.
people had so much fun with this. They were like, yes, finally.
So what about the next one, which was the Quick Assist, right? Which is the Windows remote assistance tool.
Yep.
So
Absolutely. And that is in there right now. That's not going to be in there, forever. That may change to a technical call where you need tech support for something, or you may want somebody who knows Office, Microsoft Office, or Google Business Suite, or something like that. What we've opened up this menu, this customize your call feature for, we call it call intent. And it just gives the visual interpreters a better sense of what you're looking for in that call. So you're not going to waste time, okay, I need something very specific. Can you do this or not? And the interpreter is going to be looking at that as the calls come in.
Yeah, it's
really
like a call
good idea.
preference. Yeah,
Yeah,
call preference
just to
idea.
help people. And with Quick Assist in particular, we have a lot of our interpreters who are on Macs, and I don't know how that works, honestly. So now that you guys are big Windows people,
Well, he is.
you can test this out. But we want to make sure that we get the right computers matched up to do what people need done.
And you've got
And
the relationship, of course, with Mike Calvo and Remote Incident Manager, which is a fantastic application.
Yep, that one just works across the board no matter what.
Yeah.
No matter what machine, simple keyword, and you're in. It is so good. Shaun and I were using it just the other week for something, and he was having an issue on the computer. I was able to get in there, and it's just so easy, isn't it? It's just so easy to use.
It just works.
Absolutely.
It does.
Yeah,
It's like a
and
Mac.
that's yep, and that's fantastic. Unfortunately, there are some people, especially for work, who can't use RIM, and so they have to use TeamViewer or Quick Assist or something like that. So
you've got the options.
we keep all those options open.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's very good. So what's next? I mean, you seem to be pushing out and expanding all over the place. So what's next for Aira?
Absolutely. Well, you've probably heard about Aira ASL, which is our new app for people who are deaf or hard of hearing. Right now, it is limited to the United States, and it's limited to a few locations right now. But for our access locations where there's a physical location and someone needs an American Sign Language interpreter, they can pull up the app, and just like you're hearing the visual interpreter, they're actually seeing the sign language interpreter on their screen. So what this is going to do, and why this is a great thing, because I know people are saying, oh no, you're going to forget about blind people. This is going to be terrible. and I get that. I understand. But what it's going to do is when we go to a business and say, hey, here's Aira, here's visual interpreting, very small population. Here's sign language interpreting, slightly bigger population, but now you can get both of them from the same company. And that's going to open up a lot of places that might not have had the capability for sign language interpreting in the past, or they had sign language, but they didn't have visual interpreting. And so it's a nice balance. And already, we're getting, inquiries from access partners who say, wow, this is great. We would like to sign on because you've got both.
That's brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. Yeah, it just opens up so much more potential for customers, for you as a company, but also enables so many more services, which is just fantastic. All right, look, toss away that fedora.
Toss away the fedora and giant Aira headphones. I have my cans on today.
Yeah, get rid of all of it. Let's talk about Glide. So you, Alison Melloy, of course, also co-host on that other Real Blind Tech show.
The other one.
Real Blind Tech show. So you two were in Ohio. Now, can I ask, what was the menu? Anything we should be concerned about on the menu in Ohio? Because I've heard some rumors about things that are going on over there.
No cats were harmed during these workshops.
Were the geese okay? No geese on the table?
Geese are fine, and tasty but fine. Believe me, from the condition of my driveway, the geese are alive and well here in Ohio.
Okay, they're fine. Okay. So talk about Glide, because we had Alison's take on it. She sent in a voice message, but what was yours?
Yeah, her take was pretty much what mine. I was really surprised, actually. We went to different sessions, by the way. I went to one in Columbus, and she was in a little bit further west of me in Ohio. And I was really surprised at the progress they have made since what we saw at the conventions. What we saw at the conventions and what we got to demo were their original models, which were big metal, look like vacuum cleaners. And the newer models still look like vacuum cleaners. In fact, I took a picture with Meta and, tell me what's in front of me. And it said, a robot vacuum and a man who looks like he's about to demonstrate a robot vacuum. So, no, not quite. No.
I must like that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. But the device is much lighter. The wheels are different. They have like moon buggy wheels, which are sort of a mesh kind of, I don't think it's a cover. I think it's a design more in the wheel, but it almost feels like mesh so that they're able to go over all kinds of terrain and be really able to twist around and do things like that. The wheels operate independently, I guess. And so that's kind of cool. We took it for a little spin. And although Kyle, their engineer, was doing some remote control, he did put it in the freestyle mode a little bit. And I got to see how, if I was walking around a table and wanted to do a U-turn, how it would make sure that I avoided the wall and got back to the hallway that I was going down. And it was quite fun. If you have worked a guide dog, Glide is going to be really natural to you, I think. If you've ever had to follow a dog in harness or walk with the dog in harness, it's going to feel very natural. It's not something I would use right now, but the place I could see these things being super helpful is in like an assisted living facility where using a cane, or like a rehab facility from surgery where using a cane is going to be difficult. Using a dog is going to be difficult, but using the Glide, you're going to be able to actually get around in that facility by yourself. And I did ask them, what about people who use walkers? Well, they've actually tried it with somebody who uses a walker, and it worked. And I was so excited because that's you end up in a walker for whatever reason, temporarily or permanently, your mobility options are pretty limited.
Yeah.
So that was exciting.
Very interesting times for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Jenine, great to have you back on with us. Good luck with everything at Aira. Do come back and tell us about more of the updates as they come in. And as always, thank you for being with us.
Oh, you are so welcome.
Thank you, Jenine.
And of course, don't forget that you can catch up with Jenine and the gang, Alison and Brian and all the others on that other Real Blind Tech show. That's all these podcasts I'm promoting today. What's wrong with me? I feel like I'm giving away. I feel in a giving mood. I feel like that guy in Miracle on 34th Street who kept telling everyone to go shop somewhere else.
Okay.
You never watched that movie?
No, never seen it.
Oh,
Sorry.
is that? Oh, come on. And then Santa talks to the deaf child.
Is it audio described?
Yeah, of course it's audio described.
Okay,
I mean,
then.
whether it's available anywhere with audio description. Don't get me started on that. Hey, I could just put it through Seeing AI. Can you do that? Can you upload a whole movie?
We're going to try it.
I don't think that's possible somehow. Could be interesting, though. Yeah, listen, great stuff that's going on at Aira. It is really great to hear from them. I think Be My Eyes tends to always grab the headlines, but there's a lot going on at Aira as well, and that's why I was so keen to get Jenine on. Of course, that ASL story, I know there's more to come on that, but I think that's a huge feature that a lot of people are going to benefit from. Having the ability to get this on demand. I saw it the other day at the Apple Store because I was perusing. There was an option if you are in a store and you're deaf and you need sign language interpretation, you can get video on demand sign language interpretation. You can also get assistance in store with someone in store with you, but you have to pre-book that. Do you know what? I know some people say, well, I should be able to just turn up. I get that, but equally, I'm like, you know what? Is that available anywhere else? Can I think of any other store on the high street I could walk into and say, hey, I'm deaf. Okay, there's not someone here, but you can use this video service from us. Like, you don't have to go third party for it. I think that's incredible. So, it's great to see these services available more and more. Listen, before we go, because of course we're heading up to the weekend, we've got a big week for us next week. We're going to be traveling to Site Village. But don't worry, we're still here every day, so you can still tune in every single day. Tons of emails we're going to get through next week in between it all as well. But we are going to be traveling to Site Village. Those conversations coming up the weeks to follow, so stay tuned for that. If you are at Site Village in London, we'll see you there. Hello. But I just want to mention as well, because someone pinned me on this the other day on, I think it was X or Mastodon, someone said to me, you haven't mentioned, Stephen, that the Mac Mini that you go on about, that you say is wonderful, has the power button now in the bottom of the machine. The power button is now in the bottom.
Can we say on the bottom instead? Thank you.
Okay, on the bottom. Okay, let's do that. Yes, it's now there, as opposed to on the back where it was before. I guess this is to make way for as part of the smaller size. I just want to say I don't know if that individual is a PC user, but if you are, then you probably are used to turning your PC off and on every 3 seconds because, there's always something wrong with it. Whereas with a Mac, you don't need access to that power button very often. So that's why I'm not too bothered about it being on the bottom, in the bottom, whatever.
That is unbelievable. That's your using it wrong defense. No. Actually, I don't think it's a big deal because think where you can position the Mac Mini in its new 5-inch by 5-inch size. You could mount it on the back of a monitor, on a wall, behind a desk. The actual power button could actually be better. That could be the face of the device.
Absolutely.
Not the bottom.
Wow. How we took that in a different direction I was expecting it to go. But there you go. Anyway, tell us your thoughts. Keep your feedback coming as always, usual ways, email, and of course our phone number and WhatsApp as well. We will be back on Monday with lots of interesting conversation. I'm going to tell you right now, Neuralink and the whole perspective on vision returning or vision being returned to you and restored. Yeah, that's an interesting topic. We're going to get into that next week and plenty more great conversations coming up. We'll catch you on Monday. Shaun, have a great weekend. I'll see you at Site Village.
Yes, you too. Thank you. Come and say hello. Bye-bye.